Dude, websites are so hard. They're so hard.
Congrats, man. You've been going. I've been seeing, the little pal God. Karina helping you publish.
I don't know how the fuck. I was like, this is going to be a great idea. Frontpagetech.com. It's going to be great. It is hard. I don't fully regret it, but it's much harder than I thought. And I respect you so much more knowing that you do YouTube and you publish by yourself on Apple Track. Dude,
thank you, man.
I thought I was going to have an aneurysm yesterday.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's paying off. You've told me some of the stats. They're good. They're real good. They're a little higher than Apple Track. Somebody needs to I need to up my Twitter game, get up to the 400,000. Yeah, I need to get up to the 400,000 follower Twitter mark. Doesn't verified, isn't that supposed to make you grow faster on Twitter? I feel like that should be a thing.
Being verified on Twitter?
Yeah, I just feel like I should show up more.
It helped me. When I got verified, I think I had 40,000 followers, and then I got verified, and everyone cared. Yeah.
Maybe I just need to get personally verified. Once Sam Kohl gets verified, John, I'm going to quit the podcast. You're not even going to know who I am anymore. I'll tell you that.
I'll quit too.
Man, congrats on the site.
Do you think we could just replace us as hosts on the podcast, but still do it? We still get the money.
Oh, we get the money? Like, who would you pick to be replacement?
Okay. Do they have to look like us, like we're casting a movie?
Yeah, like it's close to you.
Okay.
Another tech YouTuber in the space.
Man, there's no tech YouTubers that look like me.
That is fair.
I'd pick Sam Kohl to replace me.
I'd pick John Prosser. Trick question. No, if I had to pick someone in the tech space, that's actually a good question. This guy named Simply Pops seems really cool. He made this cool video comparing all the Macs, and I've never even talked to him, like all the new iMac colors. And I've never talked to him, but he just seems like a cool guy. Like he commented on my video, he replied. Or Luke Miani probably.
Oh, I'd pick Quinn from Snazzy Labs.
I could see that. Yeah, honestly, Quinn and Luke Miani, it would just be like a Mac podcast.
Yeah, but I feel like Quinn is always so salty about everything. Like he posted a tweet yesterday about a meat thermometer and about how all other meat thermometers are bad, but the one he just got is amazing. And that's that's what I need on the podcast. That's what we need. That's who's replacing me. Just salty about everything that is not Mac and meat thermometers.
Dude, we should start having guests on, come to think of it. It's been 19 episodes. I don't think anyone wants to come on. We've definitely asked a couple people.
Yeah, we did.
They've just been, they've either been very busy and I think are kind of politely being like, maybe I don't want to be associated with these people.
Yeah, I blame you because, no one wants to be associated with Sam. Every time I reach out, I'm like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? They're like, but that Sam guy, very controversial.
Can you look in the mirror, Buster? I'm pretty sure you're the one that leaks every Apple product, has beef with every person on Twitter for no reason. I'm just over here.
But have I even? I feel like I haven't caused the beef. I feel like people have beef with me, and it's not even my fault. I didn't ask for it. God damn it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of it's just the beef's been sitting out for a while, and I feel like you've genuinely tried at this point to be like, hey, let's just move on, and they're like, no,
yeah.
We know what we're talking about. But.
A follow-up to our favorite, Steve from OnLeaks.
Oh, how's he doing?
Over the weekend, so the whole Beats, Beats Studio Buds? The fucking name is so bad. We posted on Friday when the website launched that there was a launch date of July 21st, I think was what we stated.
That sounds right.
Over the weekend, we got updated information. So we updated the article, put out another tweet that an announcement was actually imminent. And the price was going to be $149.99 and then come in the 3 colors or whatever. And first of all, Twitter did not believe that price point for some reason because I think initially the leaks were and the speculation was, these are going to share the same feature set as AirPods Pro, so we can expect these Beats to be $250, or something like that. So when I said that the price was $149, they're like, either that price is wrong or this is going to be a crazy deal. It turns out that the features, they're not exactly like AirPods Pro. And the price is, in fact, $149.99. Today, we posted an update to the update. So the update was that the announcement was imminent and the price point was going to be $149. Earlier today, we updated saying that the announcement is most likely happening today and the release will be on June 25th. Same price point, same colors. So Apple officially announces them. They're $149.99. The release date is in fact June 25th. And then that original date, July 21st that we gave on Friday, turns out the launch is only for US and Canada right now. So if you like try to get the Beats Studio Buds anywhere, like in Europe, it says coming later this summer or something like that. Turns out July 21st is the date for every other market outside of the US, and the 25th was the US and Canada only.
I get you.
Anyway, somebody replied to my update being like, wow, you got this wrong too, pathetic. They replied that under the tweet with the correct information that said release on the 25th, $149.99.
Yeah,
and they said
it'd have to be.
Yeah, you said
accurate.
Got this wrong too, pathetic. And Steve from OnLeaks, this is just some fucking random dude on Twitter. Steve comes through and replies to that guy with just a laughing emoji. First of all, the information was correct. That's the funniest part, is that he's like clowning on information that the words are right there and they're correct. It turns out the guy misunderstood. He was like, but they were announced today, not the 25th. And I was like, that's why you got to read the words. I didn't say they were getting announced on the 25th. I said they're getting released on the 25th. The announcement happened today. You can't get them in a store today or anything like that. It even says, release date is officially the 25th.
Oh man!
But it's just like
you just can't help people.
It never fails. Like, and that tweet would not have mattered to just be some random person. But it's the fact that Steve from OnLeaks, verified account, any opportunity to just shit and jump across a cereal bowl, he'll take it.
It's like it was right. It was right. And
we need to have him on the podcast. Too. And didn't you offer that to him before? It was like, hey, Steve, come on the podcast and squash the beef.
Yeah, it was just like, let's just like talk. Like, because he's also been like rude to me in the past, unprecedented. Like I was just like, hey, I can like work on your Apple Track page, and he was very like,
oh yeah, I forgot. He hates Apple Track.
Listen, maybe people have bad days and stuff. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, but like he's never. I don't know. I will be honest in saying that the vibe that I got initially was not one of positivity or support or love like I've gotten from the rest of the tech community. And I'm not saying everybody has to be, oh, love you. Oh, thank you for doing this. That's not what I'm asking for. But like, maybe if it's not your site, like give your feedback. And then if it doesn't change, maybe just accept that it's not your thing.
Right.
And then if you want to make your own thing, you can. But this is my thing, and I'm going to do it the way I do it because people seem to like it.
No, how dare you?
Now.
Make your own thing and make up the rules.
I'm all.
How can anyone hate you,
dude? Did you see that thing that I sent? That people were going off on both of us on Reddit.
Oh, dude, I do not look at Reddit anymore.
No, stay off of it.
Yeah, I don't look. What happened?
It's just, of course, everything that you post gets submitted to r/Apple because it's Apple News. And then somebody says, don't read, it's Prosser. This happens literally religiously. Like, I'm pretty sure they have just a bot that someone made that's just like, this is Prosser, don't believe it, regardless of what it could be. Like, Apple is going to be named after a fruit company, and they'd be like, I don't
know about that Prosser guy.
Real sussy. So it was under, I think, the leak about the iPad mini. I think it was that or the Mac
I didn't
Mini
look. I don't know what they said.
So it was just like, well, hey, look, his credibility is like 73%. So like you can shit on him, but like, he still is 70% accurate. Like it's
but
not
then
the
there's
highest,
always the people that are going to follow up and be like, well, that is made by his best bud.
Yeah, no, that's actually what they said. They go,
figured.
You mean the site that's run by the guy he does a podcast with? So first of all, I'm like, oh, they know my name. That's kind of cool. Second of all, I'm like, wait, I don't understand. Like,
yeah, congratulations, Sam. They hate you too.
Well, it's just like, I feel like if you listen, like I'm pretty, I'm your friend, obviously. So like there's some implicit bias there, but also our friendship like happened by me not liking you and like calling you out. So I feel like we both have, I have the relationship.
And
I feel like
people talk about Apple Track like you made it as a tool to like boost my credibility. That site happened way before our friendship.
God. Yeah, no, that was what it would led to. It was like, oh, you mean the site that was made after they started the podcast to boost John? And I'm like,
yeah, they act like the only source on Apple Track is me.
And they're like, I'm like, if you guys think John cares this much about his credibility, like, listen, he cares.
Oh, that's nobody. I don't know who that is.
we should start doing like a third character that's just them.
And that's Quinn from Snazzy Labs, everybody. How's your meat thermometer?
Hey, it's going great out here. I'm grilling some meats with my boy Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, fuck. Okay, go ahead.
People are crazy, John. People are crazy. And I don't know.
What the fuck?
Put the meat thermometer away. Yeah, I just feel like people are, a bit conspiratorial. They just can't. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why there's
internet
so much hate.
is going to internet, I guess.
You've gotten some things wrong. I feel like you've accepted that. I feel like Mark Gurman has gotten, he's gotten less things wrong. I'll say that Mark Gurman, I think, is overall a better source than you.
Of course.
But it's like, yeah, Mark Gurman. But it's like he's also been doing it for way longer. Mm-hmm. He's got way longer track record. He does it in a different way. He's a bit more there's a lot of things. Maybe that's why he's better. Maybe it's luck. Maybe it's skill. Maybe it's something else. But it's also like, if you look at the leaderboard, John Prosser is where his rating is. So I don't know. Like, I wish I could just it's the internet. So it doesn't matter. But I always approach situations where I'm like, hey, I wish we could just talk about it rather than leave a. Internet beef is so messy, even just tweets and stuff. I think I should DM on Leaksy and just hey, unironically, if you actually want to talk and just open a line of communication, we could.
He won't.
It'd be cool. That's always what I'm about. I feel like there was somebody else. I feel like that I recently that I was kind of give me bad vibes. Then we just talked. It was better. I can't remember if that's real or I just made that up. But every time I have ever done,
how do you not know?
I can't
if
remember
it was real or if you made it up.
I think it's just because I'm thinking of Steve and how we talk that I'm thinking that it had happened, but I don't think there was one recently. My point being, anytime I've ever had an issue with someone and I've brought it up and I've been hey, let's talk about it, it usually works out okay because we actually have a discussion rather than just judging each other based off of our public personas. And dude, this is, we talked about this interpersonally, but you're seeing this sort of dichotomy with frenemies right now.
Oh yeah,
which
we got. I feel like we got to fill people in. People. If you're listening to the show, you should know what that is.
For brief context, it's a podcast with Trisha Paytas, an internet creator, and then Ethan Klein of H3H3 Productions, who's been doing podcasting pretty much longer than anybody else on YouTube specifically. And they've had their ups and downs on the show, but it was also the most popular show they've ever had on that channel by double or triple. And there's just been a lot of drama recently, and because Trisha walked away, is alleging a lot of things and claiming a lot of things. Ethan has been very, the other co-host has been very hey, these are the receipts. I tried everything to make this person comfortable. It just doesn't seem like it was enough. And that show, I've never actually said this publicly, but that show was actually the inspiration for this because I was John vaguely reminds me of Trisha, a bit crazier takes or zanier or
you
wild.
You never said that. Why do I remind you of Trisha fucking Paytas, you asshole?
No,
No.
Okay, not in how she deals with problems or deals with trauma or challenging situations, but in the way that she is entertaining to watch. That's what I mean. She's entertaining. There's no question about it that she's entertaining.
John Paytas.
That dynamic was something that I was nobody's really done that in the tech space. I wonder if we could have a similar, dynamic or interaction. That show did so well. I was oh, it'd be cool to do a show that's just vaguely even like that with somebody else. So yeah, that's the origins of Genius Bar.
I think that you and I should do this fake falling out. I'll make a video being I'm stepping down from Genius Bar.
God, would anybody care? I feel like we're too small of creators for drama. I feel like we'd have to be millions.
At least tens of people would care.
Tens of people would care, and then it would just be oh, this is all fake. We manipulated our audience.
Yeah, I'm sure Reddit would have a field day with it.
Yeah,
they already hate us as it is. They hate you just by association.
Dude, it's just...
So you're welcome.
I saw... Somebody also commented. It was just another random tweet. And I hate that we catch these because we shouldn't. And I've actually thought about myself. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to just stop looking at mentions in general. And turn it on for
on
verified
Twitter?
people. Yeah. Just because I feel a lot of it that will get me riled up is not exactly thanks, man. I read almost every DM I get just because a lot of it is just hey, man, appreciate you. I'm sure you get the ones I got one the other day. Somebody sent their Dogecoin address and they go, my only desire is to live. That's all they said. They said my only desire is to live. Doge address below. Hashtag Elon Musk 42069. And I was just dude, what are you guys doing?
So many of my messages are And they'll give me everything. Like it'll just be a giant paragraph. Like someone clearly worked on this message for like a day or 2 days and gave me their entire life story. It's usually like, they're a software developing student and they can't fund their semester or whatever. So they would just really appreciate it if, I help pay for it. And they give me like, proof that they attend the college and like where to put the money into an account. Like it's very, very detailed. So many DMs like that. Or, people are like, Empor can give iPhone, please.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a half sentence because English
just
is not
minimal
their native.
effort.
Yeah. It's not like their native language. So I understand, but it is always funny because, I guess from our perspective, we're just like, are we really gonna, like, are we just gonna do it? We're just gonna send it?
Like one of these times, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Well, you know what, Jim? I actually had one right here. I wasn't you.
Hey, is that the M1
name on it?
MacBook Pro?
It is the M1 MacBook.
Is that the M1X MacBook Pro though? The new one?
You're not allowed to joke about that yet. You are in time fucking out, John.
I bet I'm not. Dude, I have not had out of all the things I've ever gotten wrong, this one has been the worst.
I will say you're lucky that iPhone SE came out last year because no one would have trusted you ever.
What do you mean?
Like
if I got the first one wrong?
Oh yeah, like you would have been done because it was such a public event, and like it would have been like this. But I think it would have been, I would have been worse because like, this is obviously a notch against your credibility. And I did update your page. You're still not paying me enough, John. I did update it today after you got the Beats Studio Buds stuff right. I think I told you, I texted you.
I didn't know that. I know that you updated the story. I didn't know that you, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So your page is all updated.
I'll send you the check.
John, I have to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. You still using HelloFresh, who's the first sponsor of today's show?
Actually, I am.
Wow.
Like a lot, dude. Right after this, I'm going to go make me some hot HelloFresh, dude. It's so good.
So good.
Are we allowed? Are we allowed to say that we, how like you have multiple kids, but one is your favorite?
I mean, I think everybody knows who my favorite is. So you're allowed. I think you are. It's our show. Of course we're allowed to say. Okay. You're allowed to over-endorse something.
All right. HelloFresh is one of my favorite sponsors I've ever had in the history of my career. There, I said it. I love HelloFresh. I love promoting HelloFresh. I love eating HelloFresh. HelloFresh. They pay me $1 every time I say it. So I'm just going to keep saying it.
HelloFresh. Wait. Do I get that? The HelloFresh?
No, it's just a deal for me.
HelloFresh. You love HelloFresh because guess what? Do you guys have a hard time talking? I know I do. Do you guys have a hard time cooking? John, I know you do. I know I have a super hard time. Anyone in my personal life knows me. They know, hey Sam, do you like to cook 15, 20-minute dinners? No, generally because I don't even know what to buy. I don't even know how to go to the store and get the stuff. I'm so uneducated and so
not to mention, dude. If you do, like, even if you do know what you're supposed to get to the store, you're like, all right, I'm going to make this tomorrow, or I'm going to make this. I have a hot date this weekend. I'm going to make this.
Yeah.
And the recipe calls for 1 tomato. You can't just buy a tomato. Like, you got to buy like 8 tomatoes at the store, so 7 go bad.
Dude, that is such a good point. Living especially alone, when I buy, this is such a good analogy because on the first one they sent us the hamburger meat and 2 hamburger buns to make the meal.
Yes.
Here's what happened when I go to the store and buy hot dog buns. Do you know that they don't sell a quantity less than 8? Do you know what kind of a mental state you have to be in to eat 8 hot dogs in a week, John? And you know who has eaten 8 hot dogs in a week before? It's because I wasn't using HelloFresh. But guys, doing this thing, it's great because they got the stat in here, 28% cheaper than shopping at your local grocery store and 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal without sacrificing the quality, according to
and also 100% of your time saved.
Yes. No, it is such a great thing. I mean, listen, we've got a lot of sponsors on here, and this is one that they sent us stuff. We tried it, and we like it. We love it.
Did you? I signed up for it. I still, like, every week I'm getting my HelloFresh, and that's not a sponsored thing. Like, I personally pay for it.
It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. And you guys can get started when you go to HelloFresh.com/genius12. Use code genius12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. Can
Which
you,
is
can you pass
can
that
we
up?
talk about how crazy of a deal that is?
Yeah, can we, is that real? Did I,
Yeah, no, that's
HelloFresh.com
real. Yeah, that is real. I
/
used
Genius
it. Dude,
12.
when I first got it, because I pay for it. I pay for it myself.
Yeah.
When I first got it, I signed up with our deal. It's real.
Oh my God.
It's a real
such
deal.
a good deal. Hey, Genius 12, 12 free meals, HelloFresh.com / Genius 12. Guys, get free shipping today. Do it. Do it.
Of course,
So,
thanks to HelloFresh for supporting the show.
yes.
Okay.
John, I
gotta go.
Okay. John's going to go. I'll just carry the show. John, I've been in a predicament lately.
Oh,
because
Sam. Why?
not like a bad one. Because
What predicaments aren't good. That's why it's a word.
no,
Words mean
predicament.
things.
Okay, well, I'm saying this is like a tech predicament, so it's like not actually
go
like
ahead.
a real pressing problem.
All right.
I play video games on my Mac, but I can't play very many video games. In fact, really the only thing that I can play, because every time my friends are like, "Hey, get Dead Before Daylight. Hey, get Sea of Thieves."
Fuck, you're not gonna play Dead Daylight on a Mac.
Guess what doesn't run it? But I have a 5700 XT graphics card, a Radeon. Like, it's a decent ass graphics card. Guess what just can't even run because nobody makes it for the games? My 27-inch iMac behind me. So I've been looking and considering some options. And I never thought I would say this, but I've been looking at potentially buying a gaming PC.
Really?
But I'm not sold yet because Razer came out with this really cool. It's got a 3080 inside, so like literally the latest graphics card, basically, from AMD, and it's this like little box that's got a swappable GPU unit, so it can be upgraded in the future. It's got like a little Intel baby CPU in it, just to like get you through your day. But it's like $3,000, but it looks really nice. I think it's called the Razer Tomahawk, if I'm correct. Let me double check.
I was going to say, you could also just build
beautiful.
one, but that would be a mess right now with the chip shortage.
Yes. Oh, wait, no, the Tomahawk is the case. There's I'm going to keep talking while I find it. But listen, they've got this really cool little box. It's essentially like a modular PC. And I never thought I would find myself wanting to get something like this. Yet I find myself looking at the Razer Tomahawk gaming desktop. I was right. Screw you, Google, for making me look like an idiot on my own show. Yeah, it's $3,200 with a 3080 inside, the Intel NUC. And I have a Razer keyboard and mouse, and I found myself seeing that Razer is like the Apple of the PC world. Like the branding,
absolutely,
the colors, the RGB, it's so clean, and they've got me hooked. Like, I'm not even going to front here and be like, oh, it's because of, no, they are known to be a bit more expensive to get the quality that's also going to last a really long time.
You wouldn't want to just reach out to them and have them send you one?
You know, John,
YouTuber?
I generally don't think before I buy things.
Yeah,
and
you
I
really
think
don't.
I need to learn from you. I'll be like, John, I just bought like 400 wave panels from Elgato, and you'd be like, oh, they just sent me 400 for free. And I'm like, I just spent $400 on wave panels.
And I gave you their email. Oh, Sam, it hurts.
Okay, I'm gonna hit them up for the last box. Maybe
basically
they'll send more.
Every time I want something, I'm like, can I somehow like weasel my way into a free product? Like, is there some excuse that this is tech related? Like Helix, the bed that I have, the mattress that I have. I'm like, is there any way? I mean, yeah, because you buy it online. That is tech focused, like, obviously. Yeah. So there's always I'm like, is there any way I can convince people that I need this because tech, even if it's like HelloFresh?
Ooh, I'm gonna start trying harder. But my other idea for this PC, right? So it's like, okay, spend the basically $4,000 with a new monitor to get this like Razer gaming desktop and be able to play any games basically for the next 5 to 10 years, probably 5 years on this.
Here's a question.
The other
Sam.
part of me. Okay, go.
This is genuine. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but this is a real question.
Okay. Sure.
Because I feel like whoever's listening to this might also have the same question.
Yeah.
Well, why not an Xbox or a PlayStation?
This is where I'm going.
Okay. Hit me.
I have an Xbox Series X.
Okay.
An Xbox Series X runs Game Pass, which I just subscribed to and plan to play games with my friends. An Xbox Series X has decent hardware inside for the price. I own an Xbox Series X. The other part of me is saying, do I just buy a really, really good monitor and put my Xbox right here in front of me and use that as my PC? Because I'll never use that PC for anything else but gaming. I want to hear your guys' advice down below. If you're into the gaming space or you know things about PCs, do you think I should just save the money, not blow it all on this insane gaming PC, and just like use what I've got with a nice monitor? or should I go all out, do the gaming PC if all I'm going to be doing is gaming? Because I know I'm not going to switch my editing workflow to Windows. I'm not switching my workflow. This would be purely Sam Kohl.
Well, then we have to quit the podcast.
Enjoyable. Maybe I could run the podcast off the Xbox.
Well, before I was on a Mac, I was still using a Windows PC and making this show. So it's fine.
I Final Cut my workflow. I was actually talking about this with Andrew Edwards today on Geared Up. Look for that episode with me coming out in probably a couple of days later this week. It was really fun talking with him and John Rettinger. And he was saying that he's like, dude, you couldn't pay me to switch my editing workflow. And I was like, honestly, I kind of agree. Because
he's Andrew Edwards. Program. I'm sure somebody could pay him something. I'm sure good. Phil Morrow walked up on Andrew Edwards with a couple mil. He'd be like, all right.
I edit off of my iPhone 4S. Yeah. But I don't know, John. What do you think I should do? Should I do the gaming PC? Do you ever game on your PC? Are you there?
No, I used to. I had a Windows PC before it blew up, and I had to get a Mac. I used to play a lot of The Witcher. I think I told you this. I like video games. I love video games, but I have a problem where once I start playing it, my life is ruined. Like if I find a game that I like, there's no casual gaming for me. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna like shit or piss for a good month. And so just like for my mental health, I stay away from Reddit and don't look at what they say about me. For my mental health and just like my productivity health, I stay away from games because they trap me. Dude, when I learned about Minecraft, when I learned about Minecraft, dude, I don't think I even got up. I don't think I ate for a week. It was crazy.
Dude, that's so wild. Yeah, I've never had that relationship, but I've heard that from a lot of people. And like, you got to know when to say when. And yeah, I mean, you got a fiance now. You're probably going to be popping out some kids soon. I mean,
no, don't say that.
Many kids. Bless this man with many children.
No. I'm not ready. I don't want kids. I don't know. I have such a back and forth with kids. I don't know.
Dude.
I want to, like, okay, here's my philosophy. Okay. I want to have a kid. Like, I want to get Karina pregnant just to see her pregnant and be able to take care of her pregnant little body and get her cute. All of her weird cravings. And then I want her to have the baby. I want to look at the baby and go, hell yeah, I made that. And then walk away. I just want to be like, okay, that was fun. I'm done. That's somebody else has. That's what I want to do.
Okay, maybe you should look into Karina being a surrogate for another family. Because then you could see it.
Did you see my face? I thought you meant like somebody else gets.
What? Yeah, John. I want somebody else to bang your fiance in front of you. Because that's what I'm into, bro.
Did you see my face? No. I was like,
you were like, what are you saying? I was like, no, like, like the rich and famous people, when they can't have a kid, they have like the surrogate so it doesn't impact their body. But no, you said you want to, well, no, we want to see. No, I get that. That's like that's cute. When you were just I just want to get Karina pregnant. I was like, John, you are allowed to sleep with her if you'd like.
Yeah, no,
I want consensual and everything. Like, I give you my permission.
I want to have a baby and I want to see it and be like, fuck it, I made that. I did that.
That would be cool.
And then be done.
See, I think about this, not often, but whenever the conversation comes up and I'm like, it would be cool to have a mini me. But then I think about it and I feel like I don't want to be that like dad that falls into like the kid has to do what I do. Like let's say they're 10 years old and they've never touched a camera. I can't be that dad who's like, who's gonna run this YouTube channel when I'm fucking dead? Someone's gonna run it so that mom can eat still. Like I think about it that way, and I would hope that I'd be able to support my kid's interest, whether it would be like he's the jock who wants to do all the sports, whether he is the nerd who's like I want to code on computers and
don't show him
Apple
Minecraft
products. I would be heartbroken if he used Android. That would be probably like out the house before 18.
That's sad.
Yeah,
it's fine. When do you? I don't know. When do let's say you have a kid.
Oh,
I'm curious because I think about this a lot because it's different. Things are different now from when we were a kid.
Yes, they are.
This is your kid. We're not. So I don't want you to give.
I know what you're gonna.
Don't give an answer based on what you think is appropriate for somebody else's kid. This is your kid, and it's your responsibility. When do you give that kid a phone? How early is too early?
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that, because I do think about this a lot, and I've brought this up to my friends, and some of them have been like, my kid's not getting an iPhone until high school. And I was just like, dude, I got an iPhone in like 7th grade. I do. I want to preface this by saying I'm not a parent, and that while I respect a lot of parental choices, I do think some things we can like universally agree on are bad. And like, I remember this very clearly, that I was just walking outside at like a Six Flags, and I saw there was this baby in a stroller, like could not be more than 2 years old, on an iPad. And I was just like, 2?
Yeah.
3, like this far away from their face.
I feel like
all these colors. It doesn't sit right with me, and that's not something I would do for my
I feel
child.
like they do that a lot though, when the parents are just like, they don't want the responsibility, or they're doing something else, and so to keep the kid busy, they just shove an iPad at it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the kid's going to play with an iPad if it's in front of its face, and
oh yeah.
So I think that's fine. Like, I think not to just like absorb myself of responsibility for the kid, but like there's a lot of kid related apps and like fun stuff that they can learn on the iPad. Like all the stuff that we used to do, like fit the shapes into the thing. There's apps for that now. And I think that's really cool. But where the waters are murky for me and I can't figure it out is when they're older, like when they can have their own phone, like their own iPhone, like that's connected to the world. And anyone in the world. That is scary. I gotta
answer that question. I think if I had a kid right now and it was like gun to my head, when do they get a phone? I think I would say their 10th birthday. I think that's what I would say.
Why their birthday?
Well, like sort of like a coming of, like, I feel like that'd be like did your parents ever do that? My parents did things where it'd be like, this is going to be like a thing for your 10th birthday. This would be like the 15th. I feel like there were sort of milestones. I just hit my
Did you just knock really over your water? Is it all over the place now?
No, I have this really. Oh,
what are you?
Found it.
All right.
Oh, this was my IKEA desk. I've never pulled out this far. You want to get that MacBook leak wrong again, bro? I'll freaking smoke you. Dude, what happened? I think I just completely...
His desk fell apart.
Oh my God. All right, we're back. We're back. Have you seen this leg before? I'm just disassembling. I'm like, John, I have to return this to IKEA tonight.
I was waiting for your desk to fall or something.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, we're intact. I'm just waiting for this to crumble. I'm like, we're intact. Oh, okay. Jesus. I think 10. I think 10th birthday is what I'm going to say.
But Sam, they're 10 years old and they're connected to the world. Are you going to have, are there any restrictions?
Yes, of course there's going to be some parents. Oh, and dude, I remember my parents didn't like really understand parental controls. I'm going to parentally control the hell out of I am going to Wi-Fi server side whitelist certain IP addresses. And they're going to be like, I don't understand. I just want to go to the hub, Dad. No, son.
Every time they go on the internet, it's just Apple Track. That's it.
You could browse one site and it's Daddy's site. Because by this time, YouTube's dried up, the site's dried up. I'm getting like 10 visitors a day. Shit. Oh, man. Okay, what's your answer? What age are you giving your?
13.
Okay, so that's
fuck it. Call it their 13th birthday, whatever you want to do. Because you think the birthday is like here's a cake and a phone.
When did you get your first smartphone? I want to hear.
There was no smartphones when I was in school.
Oh, you're a little bit older. Aren't you like 4 years older than me?
Yeah, my first phone, I got.
That is a long time.
In 2005 or 2005, I think. And I guess there were like smartphones, like Windows, like pocket PCs or whatever the fuck they were.
Yeah.
I had a flip phone from Motorola. It was a Motorola flip phone.
Okay.
It looked like ass, and it was like a Go phone, I think, when that was a thing. But dude, that was so awesome, and I had like 10 text messages a month.
Yeah, I do remember. I would go over the limit.
But that like taught me like, okay, you can't just willy nilly. It's you got 10 messages, make them count.
Wow, 10. I think I had 100. 50?
And all
I also
and
didn't
all my
text
text
that
messages
much.
were replying like, "Yes, I want this ringtone." Like Jamster or whatever would text you and be like, "Do you want this ringtone?" And you go, "Yep."
What?
And it's like, "It's gonna cost." Okay. And then my
all
mom would be
right.
like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah, you're like, I'm sorry. I just like Jay, the little cat message me. I got my first phone in summer after 7th grade, I think.
In the summer.
Yeah, summer. I think summer before 7th grade, actually. It was a flip phone. Didn't connect to the internet. Limited text, limited messages. I remember my dad got really mad because we had limited minutes. I mean, God, this is something that like our kids will never know. Like we sound like literal boomers talking about minute. And like, anybody who's
You remember when a text message was at 11 cents?
Yeah, but no, that's the thing. The overage, I think it was 30 cents a text for Verizon back in the day. Oh, still, I hate Verizon so much. Anyway, I got my phone in 7th grade, and then I remember Christmas of 8th grade. So roughly a year and a half later, they got me the iPhone 4S, and that was my first iPhone.
Dude, my first iPhone was a 4S as well.
Siri,
no, it was a 4S.
dude, when nobody had a smart assistant.
Oh yeah, Siri was the bee's knees. So I went from like I had the first Android phone ever. One of them was like the LG Ally. Whoa. And that was super cool. It flipped up, had a keyboard. UI was a mess though. That was terrible. And then I had the HTC Thunderbolt, which was the first 4G LTE phone. It was on Verizon, and the battery life was a good solid 20 minutes. That's what it was. And it was a mess. Like, I remember I had this aftermarket battery that went into the back of the phone. So the back of the phone's like, this is the phone. And then the battery was like that, sticking out the back.
Oh my God, and then, that's such a throwback.
Right after that, I had this little website called Geek Basics with an X. Geekbasics.com. There's still a YouTube channel. Dude, I should send you videos. Back in the day, I had this website called Geek Basics, and I did videos where I thought I really wanted to do like YouTube and have a website. I'm living that now, but it took me how long to do? You're not gonna find it now. You're not gonna find it. But I still have YouTube videos and stuff that I can show you. Dude, back in the day, kids from my school would wear Geek Basics shirts and all that shit.
Were you like popular?
No. It was like it was a pity thing. It was a pity. They bought shirts for pity.
That's cute though. That's nice. Man, that's kind of cool.
And I had like, I don't know, maybe like 20 visitors a month on that website. And they had convinced me, one of the 20 visitors had convinced me to try an iPhone, because with Verizon, when you got a new phone, you had like 14 days. And if you didn't like it, you could give it back. So they were like, because I had ads on my Geek Basics site that I made myself that were like an Android peeing on an apple. Like, I was that kid. Yeah. I was that kid. And so
John, we would have not been friends at that time.
Yeah, we barely made it now.
We barely. Oh my God, because I would have been like, frick off, Android user.
Frick off.
Frick off. Let me have an aneurysm.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. And
that's incredible.
On the site, one of the two viewers was like, Verizon, they let you give your phone back. So you got 14 days. I challenge you to try an iPhone, since you're always like shitting on it. And if you don't like it, you can give your iPhone back in 14 days and keep using your Android phone. But the day that I got it, it was the iPhone 4S. Dude, life-changing. Like, it was nuts. The weather, seeing the weather on the phone, and like
it
was wild, dude. The one cool thing about my HTC Thunderbolt was the weather. If it was raining, when you unlocked your phone, a windshield wiper would go across the phone and like take off the rain from the phone. It was cute.
That's cool. See, that's I miss that level of like skeuomorphic design, like that ultra realistic. Like, we don't get that.
Do you really though?
I think I do. I probably wouldn't if it fully came back, but I wish I think flat design, I'd like to see some more depth. I was kind of a fan of like the neumorphic design. Did you ever see any like concepts of that? It was sort of like flat, but with depth, with shadows. I believe that the concept was actually based around the usage of shadows and creating, making something look more parallax or not. I like it, but iOS continues to be flat, Big Sur, and also moving forward into what's it called? Monterey.
Yep.
Forgot. Okay.
Monterey. I feel like I have to say it with the accent. Monterey.
Monterey. Somebody told me there's no T. They just said you don't pronounce the T, so it's Monterey.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think. Craig said introducing Mac OS. I don't remember.
You know what they should do? They should give us Mac OS Manscaped.
Oh, they should give us Mac OS
I got
Manscaped.
a flashlight.
Got
free shaver. What?
Whoa. Okay.
The crowd goes wild. Okay, second sponsor today, ladies and gentlemen, is especially gentlemen, Manscaped. Listen, Father's Day is right around the corner. Stop giving your dads ties. Stop doing that. No more ties. No more socks. Manscaped. That's what you're doing this year.
Does your dad have hair in his body? You should use that.
This is great for audio listeners.
Do not read. Host to talk about a funny manscaping story. You could talk about how hairy your dad is and why he needs this product. Hey, John.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
This is I got it in my mouth. This is the ball reviver. Remember my story?
Ball reviver.
Remember how I lay? Oh, it smells so good. I got a whiff of it and just my whole world paused for a second. Just gave me a second to smell it. You put this on your look. I wonder if you can see. It's like half empty.
It's truly great. Yeah.
It's like half empty because I use it every day after the shower. I lift up I lift up my willy and I give my balls a spritz and I lay down on the bed with my legs spread and let the fan air dry my balls with the crop reviver on it. So good. This is what I recommend. I would get 10 of these right now.
And you know what Father's Day means? It means it's hot outside, John. It means you're getting sweaty down there. You don't want all that hair clogging you up. If you're like me, if you're on the dating apps, you're maybe trying to make some moves. Maybe the moves haven't happened yet, but you're patient. You could use, they came out with the 4.0, which is crazy. It's the brand new lawnmower, new and improved, upgraded. We're all about tech here. They've got a 4000K LED spotlight. It's upgraded with a multifunction on and off switch with a travel lock, people are starting to travel again. I hear. John, we need to hang out soon. More on that later.
Yep.
Listen, you guys have these additional guard lengths, sizes 1 to 4. It's got a new wireless charging system with induction, electromagnetic. Listen, you guys like tech. I'll be honest. Before they sent us this ad read, I was looking at the 4.0 and I'm like, I'm very excited to receive this in the mail because I'm tech and it's an upgrade,
right?
Not 3.1. This is 4.0.
This is your iPad Pro.
This is my iPad Pro. Hey, you guys can get all this from the cologne, the crop mop, the ball wipes. You got to get those for John. Somebody send us those for John, please. The crop reviver, ball toner, and the crop preserver. You guys can get started 20% off with free shipping. Use code GENIUS at manscaped.com. That is code GENIUS.
20% off is a lot.
And free shipping on top of that. That's always something that gets me. Like, I feel like so many times I'm making a purchase and then I'm like, oh, shipping's like $10, $10. No, but 20% off and free shipping. Listen, we got our stuff. We both use it. I use it actively. It's great.
I had to clean I brought it over and I had to clean it off first to make sure it was presentable.
We gotta Hey, you're using it then.
Okay, so the men listening, this is for you, but also the ladies, because we know your dude is not taking care of himself.
Yeah, maybe get this if your dude is a dad. Wow, that could be. If your dude's a dad, where's the marketing team at? We're right here. We do this basically for free. Let's be honest. You guys get 20% off free shipping. Go Genius, manscaped.com. Order it for the man in your life. Order it for yourself. That's it.
Okay. Sam, we got new Apple Watch rumors today.
Ooh, okay.
Did you see Gurmey's report?
I did see little Mark Gurmey's report. I think I've started saying that as well. We both started saying it, and he's going to think it's a conspiracy. And it should be a conspiracy.
Another Reddit conspiracy.
He's so good at leaking. He's got all these deets. And I find it fascinating that in these reports about the Apple Watch, Don, he did not necessarily mention a redesigned watch.
Right.
He mentioned a different screen with slimmer bezels. That's pretty.
But that's where Gurmey gets you. He only says stuff that he knows for sure.
Yeah.
I think the only people that have mentioned a form factor redesign was myself and Quo. Ming-Chi Kuo literally called it a form factor redesign, the first one in however many years.
Yes.
I'm interested. Dude, Gurman mentioned something about a body temperature reading.
Yes. Oh my
Dude.
God. This is so fat, John. I have been literally, I think you can go back to probably 2017 in my videos. Since I've been saying, initially I've said that Apple should put this in AirPods just because I thought that made more sense because you can like orally take your temperature. Like that would, to me, that would be relatively easy tech to, relatively easy tech to squeeze inside something literally this big. Yeah, just shove it up there, enema yourself and get that shit going. But no, this is amazing. I'm disappointed that it's going to take till next year. He said this was initially planned for this year. So I'm kind of like, other than the redesign, what are we getting? You know, like better speakers, it looks like.
Another Apple Watch. Better. I mean, that's what happened this past year. The Series 6 was just...
no, it's...
blood oxygen?
Yeah. Altimeter, always on. That's kind of cool.
Woo!
I will say this is incredible to hear because, for some, I just have the sneaking submission that we're going to have another pandemic in our lifetimes, and I really hope we don't.
Oh, Jesus. Why are you putting that juju in here?
I'm not okay. I'm just saying I could see it happen. I'm not saying right around the corner. I think we're gonna have a few years to chill out, gather our thoughts on what we just went through.
That would suck. Like right when things are like
could you
completely back to normal.
That would honestly
someone
that would
eats
be
another
worse.
goddamn bat or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. Whatever. But listen, I mean, this is smart, right? Because that seems like such an obvious thing to do because not only, I mean, this is also not just for a pandemic or for COVID or something that would cause you to have a fever. This is just like general, hey, I'm sick. I've got a cold. I've got the flu. I mean, being able to, a lot of times your doctor will be like, what fevers have you been running? And, maybe you take it at a time when it's lower or higher than it's actually been. So it's like, if you could just be like, yeah, let me just Apple Health this data to your iPad and send it over. And then they can be like, oh, I can see the exact chart of your body temperature throughout the day. Like, that would be invaluable for patients in the hospital to see how they're doing. I mean, generally the temperature is an immune response. It's heating up to kill off stuff in your body, and I think that's big. Like that is not as big as like the non-invasive glucose monitoring, which unfortunately, did you see that footnote? It's still probably years away. But I'm all for this. I've been asking for this for years. When I saw that, I was like, someone at Apple's been watching my videos. Thank you. How are you feeling about this one?
Well, I was more interested in the whole rugged thing again. That rumor's like been swept back up, but it's also pushed back.
Yeah. So again, I'm like, what are we getting this year?
Yeah. So what is it? The rugged or active? I don't know what they're going to call it officially.
Yeah. They've called it the Adventure or the Explorer edition. He's got that, in sort of air quotes paraphrase. So I don't think that's a marketing name, but maybe.
I'm interested in seeing that. We're also, according to him, getting an update to the Apple Watch SE also next year, not this year, which makes sense.
Also next year.
We should only have one of those every once in a while. I don't see why we should update that every year. Apple stores, you don't have to wear a mask if you're vaccinated, starting in the US, starting today, actually, Tuesday when this comes out.
Yeah. It's coming out on Tuesday. That's going to be fun. I actually put at the footnote of my article I read about that. I was like, I had a feeling they were going to do this, but like I walked up without a mask because, I'm fully vaxxed. It's been a couple weeks. And the dude was just like, for the video listeners, I'm just scraping my face in a mask emoji. And I was like, I don't have one on me. Do you guys have one? And they were like, yeah, we can get you one. We just have to wear it in the store. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. I just,
so
it's not going to do anything.
Customers aren't really going to have to do it, but employees still have to do it indefinitely for the time being.
I've been seeing a lot of businesses doing this, and I don't know. I feel like it's a lot for the employees if you're fully vaccinated.
Yeah, but businesses just got to keep themselves protected from liability.
Yeah, I suppose.
Even if they are vaccinated, all it takes is one lawsuit to be like, I got it from Target or something.
Can you do that?
I think so. I got it from the Target employee that sneezed on me.
And you'll cough on me, and then I'll be like, I'm suing John.
Yeah, dude, that's like a terroristic thing. Remember there was one guy that was like walking around a store, like licking stuff and coughing on stuff. And then it came out that he actually had COVID. Like he was
Did not
fucking
see
with people,
that.
being
Did
like,
not see that.
you're afraid of COVID," and then like licking stuff. But then it turned out he actually had COVID, and then the government charged him with like terroristic threatening and shit.
I mean, they should.
Yeah.
If you're going to be that much of a dick, you deserve to go to jail.
Right.
Don't be a dick. Like, oh God, I get so triggered from the assholes that live in America. You're so inconsiderate. No one asked you to do that. Sit down. Wear the damn mask.
Thank you, Sam.
Anyway,
Thank you for coming to Sam's Tech Talk.
You said Fauci said I shouldn't wear my mask.
Yeah, Fauci. Is that how we're saying his name? Fauci.
No,
oh, also, iPad Mini. I forgot. That was for me. I was scrolling through Apple Track about like looking for stuff to talk about, and I was like, "Oh, there's a new iPad Mini. Oh, that's mine. New iPad Mini. Did I send you? I think I sent you. Did I send you pictures of it?
You did send me some pictures earlier. Very nice. Very beautiful iPad.
So worked with a few sources on this that were very, very helpful to them privately, secretly. Thank you for all your help on that one. They gave us schematics, CAD stuff, and real pictures of it. Looks like an iPad Air. Looks like an iPad Air, but small. There are a few key differences, like the microphone hole is in a different place for some reason. Also, that Apple Pencil 3 leak is very skeptical now.
That is really interesting, and that was a super unique perspective that I wasn't expecting to hear when you because you showed me the picture of the iPad, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be the story," and then you were like, "Well, I think it could be a smaller Apple Pencil," and I was like, "Oh."
Well, because there's like a magnet on the side. Where's my iPad?
It would make sense.
So this is the iPad Air, and there's like the little magnet for the Apple Pencil. That exists on the iPad Mini, but it's smaller. And since we know the dimensions of the Mini, if you took the current Apple Pencil and tried to put it on there, it'd be too big. And so,
really interesting.
Yeah, and one of the sources, only one of them had mentioned support for a smaller Apple Pencil. And they were like, we don't currently know. We're not comfortable in saying if that's a new Apple Pencil just for the Mini or if the next Apple Pencil is just going to be smaller. And so that's when we looked into that leak from a few months ago, that Apple Pencil 3 leak, and scaled it with the current one because it is, I mean, you saw, it looks smaller than the current one. Yeah.
It is.
So it looks like... I don't know if we're going to get a smaller pencil, if the Apple Pencil 3 is smaller, or if we're going to get like a cute little one for the Mini. But I don't know. Sources are speculating, and also I see this happening as well. I think that this might be one of, if not the last iPad Mini.
I think it will be. Yeah, it seems like they're going to go all out just because I can't imagine that the Mini sells that well. Like I mean, it's a tablet, right? Like the whole point is it to be big.
And also, phones are so much bigger now. Like you got your Pro Max device. I mean, do you really need something in between that and like an iPad?
We got to give props to Steve. He was right. He said people don't need a smaller tablet. This is it. This is the best version of this thing. Why would we ever do it? Steve, all right, people. And then Tim's like, I like the iPad Mini. I remember that was like a huge controversy. That was like the first time everybody said Apple is different. Apple is changing. Steve would never. And that is actually true. I believe Steve was on the record of saying, I do not want to see a smaller iPad Mini. He dies 2 years later. Have you seen the new iPad Mini? And, my mom actually has an iPad Mini and she loves it. But she's like the only person in the past 5 years that I feel like I've met that really, really enjoys it. Which I get because it's a great form factor. And like the new iPad Mini is going to have a bigger screen. I think it's going to be like 8.9 inches. So it'll be larger, but it's, I'm on the 12.9 inch now. I will say that is almost a bit too big. I feel like a 12 inch iPad, that would be like my sweet spot.
Yeah. The iPad Air is so perfect. It's like 10.9 or something.
10.9. Yeah. It's a 0.1 inches smaller than the iPad Pro. Another reason, John, you should get the iPad Pro. It's a slightly larger screen. Why am I trying?
Every week. You're back and forth every week, though. Sometimes you got to get the Pro because money. And then the other times you're like, I should have got the Air.
I don't know.
Speaking of, how's your fucking useless iPad Pro, huh?
Oh, it's great. Where are you at, boy? Where are you
Exactly.
at?
That is how everyone. Everyone is doing right now. That bought the iPad. They're like, "Where is it even at?
It is
Where did I put
in
it?"
the kitchen. I brought it home. I got a really cool look at an iOS 15 feature. I left my iPad with iPadOS 15, and of course I have my iPhone personal on iOS 15. Left it at my parents' house. Was driving out of their subdivision. My phone pings me and says, "You left your iPad at their house."
That's so
sure
cool.
enough.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect implementation of that feature. I was blown away. Honest to God. I was like, I would have driven away 100%, not even a question. My dad was outside talking to somebody, so I would have been too far. It's like, I didn't even need it that badly. It let me know. I was like, this is genius. This is the ecosystem. This is what I pay for. You know, I want this. I want this integration, and it was good.
Yeah, I can tell you that you left it really fast because it has 16 gigs of RAM and an M1 chip in it.
Yeah, no,
I'm still so salty about that.
No, me too. No, iPadOS is actually.
Oh, dude, in my
So
notes,
disappointing.
I came up, dude, I was eating cereal one night, right? That's when your best ideas happen. You're about to go to sleep. My best ideas happen when I'm shitting. Actually, that's not true. That's a lie. I'm not thinking about anything other than get this out of my body. When I'm in the shower, good ideas happen. When I'm brushing my teeth, for some reason, my mind leaves my body. I'm brushing my teeth, doing all the things.
Got you.
And then my brain is just like, it's like,
arms.
it knows all things. It's like been through space and time. It knows everything.
That's amazing.
Or like right when you're about to go to sleep, when you're really sleepy and you're vulnerable and your brain's just letting any thoughts in, right?
Oh, I don't have that. When I'm sleeping, my brain's like,
no, not when I'm sleeping.
Why are you still up, idiot?
Yeah, like right before I'm going to sleep, I'm eating a bowl of cereal because I wanted to feel nice inside. And
Sitting back.
Eating some of that Magic Spoon. Not a sponsor today.
I would hope so.
Eating some Magic Spoon, sitting down.
Oh, man.
And this,
not sponsored? Whoa.
It clicked in my head, Sam.
Okay.
It clicked in my head, and so I had to make a note.
Hit me. What?
All right.
Make it click. Make it make sense.
So I think I figured out what's going on with iPadOS.
Oh, please, God. Please, John. I've been waiting for this answer for 5 years.
Here it is. So everything is long-term from Apple. I mean, it has to be. That's how businesses work. But we are upset that we did not get a crazy iPadOS update to take advantage of the new hardware that has 16 gigs of RAM and an M1 chip in it.
Yeah.
We're upset, but then
we are.
Clicked in my head. Why would they change the functionality of a whole OS for just one single product? What I think is happening is this iPad has an M1 chip in it, 16 gigs of RAM or whatever, and they're going to do it. They're going to do it again next year, and then do it again the year after that. And then what do you have? You have a market full of iPads that have capable hardware. So that way, when you roll out a software update, it doesn't affect just one subsection of people that did buy the new product. It will be able, you'll be able to update iPads from the last 2 or 3 years. That suddenly, because of your long master plan, do have the capable hardware for the software implementations that you actually want to put in. So that way, more people get to take advantage of the update. So it's not just, however many people bought the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, and then why would they release a whole iPadOS just for that small section of people that got the new M1 iPad Pro? They can't do that. If they're going to make a whole system-wide sweep of new stuff for iPadOS, it's got to affect more iPads, more people with different iPads, and that's why I think they should have started a long time ago. But I think that this is like the first step into unlocking something with iPadOS, and it just makes more sense to me that they would wait till they fill up the market a little bit more with capable iPads, with capable hardware, before they would flip the switch on anything software related, because then you're not affecting enough people. Whereas right now, if you're just slow and steady, you can get the capable hardware out there. That's what I think. Probably not what's going to happen, though. That's probably just going to suck forever.
Okay.
Hit me.
It's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the point and what's the incentive to buy that device now then?
Same one there was yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, I honestly, that's like the closest semblance to like why.
But then again, think about it years from now, next year or whatever, when the next one's out, people are still going to, buy the previous year, which is going to be this one, the current 16 gigabyte RAM, M1, whatever. That'll be cheaper next year. It'll be even cheaper in 3 years.
In 3 years. Yeah. And I mean, well, it makes me think about like, there's been no rumors whatsoever about like the next iPad Air. Apple doesn't generally update that every year. But it's actually kind of interesting that they update the base model, like the $329 one, basically every year. But they only update the iPad Air about every 2 to 3 years.
I feel like with the base model, they always do the bare minimum. And so they have to like update it every year. I mean, the next one's going to look like the previous iPad Air, is what I was told.
That makes sense. Thinner and lighter. That adds up based on all the rumors. And does the base iPad, does it have a 10.5 inch screen or a 10.2 inch screen now? Because
it's like a 9 something. I don't fucking know.
No. It's in the 10 inch range. I know that for a fact. It is. They updated that a couple years back. The iPad has I'm looking.
So bright.
Everybody in the comments.
9.7 inch display.
No, it does not, John.
What do you mean?
The $329 iPad has at least a 10.2 inch. I'm going to the tech specs. Did you just Google it?
Oh, you're right.
It came.
Yeah, I just typed in words, saw words back, and went this.
10.2 inch. So maybe it'll get bigger to 10.5 inch because that was the size of the last iPad Air, I remember. That would make sense. They're just recycling. They do that every year. That's no surprise.
Yeah, and now at this point,
that'll actually be a pretty good base iPad.
After making the iPad Air and that previous design for so long, it's cheaper for them to manufacture. And I mean, same thing they did with the iPhone SE.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious what's going to happen processing wise for obviously the base iPad will probably, it's only got an A12 right now, so it'll probably go up to A13 and then A14 eventually because the chip architecture will be so simple to manufacture. But like for the next iPad Air, for the next iPad that's not an iPad Pro, there is not an A14X.
No.
So in 2 years, are we going to see an M1 in like the 10.9 inch iPad Air?
I mean, would that fit into the master plan I just mentioned? More iPads with more capabilities for the software switch? But if that was really their plan,
cheap though.
I feel like they should have started that last year or the year before.
But they couldn't have because you can't introduce an M1 before the Mac gets it. It's a Mac chip. It would be. Could you imagine if they would have announced? I mean, or imagine if they announced the iPad with the M1. Think of if this was backwards. If the iPad Pro got an M1 first, and then Apple's like, we're putting this in the MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
That would be like, what? This is in the iPad? It's sort of like, I still am.
But I mean, that's sort of what happened. The M chip is just an A chip rebranded.
It is. It is essentially the A14X from everything people that have looked at it have said. It is the A14X chip. That's what it is.
Well, if you're developing and they want to make these switches in software, right? We need more developers on board. And that's where the third sponsor of the day comes in. Codecademy. Everybody. There's never been a better time to be a programmer.
Never been a better time. Guys, WWDC just wrapped up. Coding's on the mind.
And not to mention the fact that we've all been stuck inside for the most part. Things are not the way they used to be, right? People aren't looking for college degrees and crazy stuff. Like, people care about your experience level, your knowledge, what you know. And now you don't have to leave your home for that. You can learn at your own pace. Codecademy is what can help you make that happen.
Simply put, Codecademy is the best way to learn code online. They not only teach you job-ready coding skills, they're also going to help you build unique projects for your portfolio. You're going to learn these really great certificates that actually show you've got the skill, you're ready to rock and roll. And they'll even help prep you for technical interviews. I'm thinking of my good friend Jake while reading this. He's been, the technical interviews have been really, really hard. I'm going to send him to codecademy.com with the promo code GeniusBar, of course, to sign up for this. Because listen, the job market is tough right now. It's really tough, especially in areas where you are going into coding. Those technical tests are sometimes the biggest roadblocks. And sometimes you may have even gone to college, but you just need a little help learning these extra skills, learning C++, learning Java, learning HTML and CSS, SQL. It's incredible what you can do by learning Python even on codecademy.com.
Right.
And they've got the tools in this interactive platform that helps you learn by doing rather than watching, being lectured to.
And you could be hearing this ad right now and be like, you could have zero knowledge of any of this stuff ever, no history with it or anything like that. And it's real simple. Just like even if you were just like you were brushing your teeth and it came to you. It came through your brain. It was like, you know what? We should learn how to code. Myself, we should learn how to program. Even if you have zero experience, Codecademy Pro, you get your quick membership by using your promo code Genius Bar because you watch the show. They get you 15% off, and you can get started right there. Learn at your own pace. Everything is up to you. No one's forcing you or pushing you to speed up. No one's going to hurry you or anything like that. Build your own portfolio. Get a certificate of completion to make yourself more marketable to future employers. You get tools and cheat sheets to help your ideas. And you can connect with a bunch of other learners through their forums and stuff, and connect with people like-minded, and I'm sure ask questions as well. Like Codecademy is all in one-stop shop. Learn at your own pace, and be smarter than you were yesterday.
Yeah, John and I have both tried it. Listen, guys, codecademy.com. Use promo code Genius Bar there. That's one word, Genius Bar, name of the pod, to get 15% off Codecademy Pro. It is the best way to learn. That is CODECADEMY.com. .com for those of you paying attention, watching at home, and use promo code Genius Bar. Again, 15% off Codecademy Pro, the best way to code.
And a huge thanks to Codecademy for supporting this episode. Genius Bar. Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, I don't think we're gonna. Renee Ritchie actually had a very interesting take on, of course, Renee of all people, but he was talking about, how we all complain about iPad, and it has an M1 chip. How come it's not more capable? He made a good point by stating that, these chips, it's not going backwards. No, the Mac chip isn't now in the iPad. It happened in reverse. The iPhone and iPad chips made it up to the Mac. But it still doesn't hurt any less.
That's a good point, Renee. That's why Apple sends him stuff.
Period. Yeah, maybe if you start saying stuff like that, they'll send you stuff.
I love Apple products. I wouldn't. No, I want to be real. I couldn't. It wouldn't be worth it. But yeah.
You gotta, I think we just send them a quick email. We'll create like a little portfolio of just Sam.
Just multiple clips. Good things. Cut out all the things from like iPad.
We'll put inspirational music behind it. It'll be great. It'll be fine.
I was watching the cool talk show interview with John Gruber where he had Greg Jaws and Craig Federighi on his podcast.
Which is what, the talk show? Daily talk show?
It's called the talk show. Yeah. I mean, he didn't have us on. A little weird. Okay, John. But we'll take it. Anyway, great interview. I would highly recommend you guys watch it. Just search the talk show. John Gruber. It's on YouTube. He does like one video pod a year, which I find really funny for some reason, just because it's like he literally every year I subscribe to his YouTube channel, one new video, just WWDC podcast. I'm like, I will subscribe for this because it's always really good. And it's with the Apple executives. And and Craig Federighi did all those FaceTime interviews. Yeah. Did you see that weird media? Not weird, just different media blitz that I wasn't really expecting. And some select YouTubers got to go
Andrew Edwards, so who were just talking about.
He did. Earlier. He did. Yeah. He said Craig was cool. I found it interesting. Marquez was not a part of that this time. You notice they focused on a little smaller tier creators, kind of like medium to large, rather than giant.
Because they didn't want Marquez hitting them with the hard questions, like why the fuck? Why can't we use our iPads? iPad Pro really M1. What's wrong with you?
Andrew was talking about when we talked today about how like that works, and I'm always very curious. And honestly, there's a part of me that's like maybe I'm not ready for these opportunities yet. Like I'm a young kid. I'm 23 years old, and I think like basically Andrew said you get. And I want to hear your response to this, John. Okay. You get to ask one question. He said you have 5 minutes exactly with Craig. You're allowed to ask one question. One question.
But can it be any question or are you limited?
He said that they did not pre-screen what he asked. He could ask anything, but he brought up a good point today because I know what I would have asked. I would have said,
what's wrong with you? How dare you?
My question would have been a tough question. I would have asked Craig Federighi. I said, I would have said, Greg, with peace and love, you're one of the most fun people at Apple. I look forward to seeing you at every keynote. You make the company fun. Every time you're on stage, you've got this energy. I see this in a lot of products, but a place that I'm not seeing this is in the new iPad Pro. A lot of us who bought the new iPad Pro, we spent a lot of money on it. We see this as a pro device. You call it a pro device, yet I feel like my MacBook Air can do a lot more than my more expensive iPad Pro. Why do you think that is? And that would have been my question, an open-ended, like, I want to hear his philosophy and the teams at Apple to why. Again, not me attacking, not me, throwing accusations, but I want to know, I want to hear from Craig, why. Maybe I should email Craig. Maybe he would email me back. I saw he's been doing that for some people in the beta. But Andrew Edwards brought up a good point, because I was thinking all this in my head as Andrew was talking, and he was like, I got to spend 5 minutes with Craig. And you realize that a question like that cannot be answered in 5 minutes. And as a tech journalist,
that's not my fucking problem, Craig. You figure it out. 5 minutes, go.
But Andrew, it was very nuanced, and you could tell I think it was just 17 years today he started like Gear Live and his whole YouTube platform, and it really made me say, this is the nuanced approach that like only time could teach me. That maybe and journalistically, like that's going to be a question that's a hard question. That's not going to be, what made you say the new Memoji would have blue skin this year? I like the Memojis because I called Grampy on the Memoji. Like, it wouldn't have been one of those that Apple PR is just like, yes, let's go. It would have been a question that made Apple be self-reflective, and they don't like to do that. What question would you have asked? If you could have asked Craig
that would have been my
question.
question. That would have been it.
Exact same thing.
Yeah, the whole 5 minute limit thing is not my problem. You got 5 minutes, Craig.
But you are the journalist, and
I know. But I don't think. But yes, I am a journalist, and I need to give the people the answer they want, the one they need, the one they desire deep in their balls. But I need to give them that answer. And if Craig cannot give me an answer in 5 minutes, they need to reevaluate and figure out why the fuck iPadOS is so limited. I feel like, especially if they're not screening stuff, they've got to practice. They've got to have like a cheat sheet of like, if they ask the iPadOS question, you answer with this.
He was prepped. I guarantee it would have been, I can tell you what he would have said. He would have said, listen, John, the iPad and the Mac, they're platforms, they're core to us at Apple. We spend, countless hours, my kids use the iPad, and they just love it. They love the technologies that our teams at Apple are bringing. And, to answer your question, we at Apple, we deeply see the iPadOS and the Mac platforms is distinctly separate. This is a question that we get a lot. Are you going to combine the iPad and the Mac? And the answer is always no. We see the iPad as its own very successful platform.
Okay, Craig, John, we only got 5 minutes, and you're trying to be a politician.
It's the best platform in the world for a tablet. It's the best tablet you can buy. We believe the Mac is the best personal computer.
That wasn't my question.
You can buy. But
wasn't the question.
But that's what he would have done, John.
Hey, Craig! Wasn't the question.
But that's what he would have said, because he's been asked that before.
Wasn't the question. That's all I asked.
That's what he would have said. That's what he would have said, because they are all politicians at Apple, and they are masters.
Well, that's what dude, the whole interview would be.
That's how I would answer it.
That's not my question. Like and then my 5 minutes are up.
Why doesn't Apple Track have dark mode? Why did it just get dark mode last week? I said, well, it's very hard. It's a single person running this organization.
Tell me that wouldn't go viral though. If he's avoiding the question and I'm just screaming, that's not my question, even if we didn't
that's
get one.
why
it's not worth
they
it.
know that you don't have. See, John, I feel like I'd have more self-restraint in that circumstance than you.
I have zero.
Because I don't think you would get invited back.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
I would have the intention to ask there's somebody who I was thinking about. I feel like Oprah historically was a good interview. I was watching this. I don't know if she's been, on her A game as much. I feel like the Harry and like Meghan interview was a little like, I don't know.
That's okay. She can come on this show if she wants.
Yeah. But yeah, Oprah, we'd love to have you. Listen, did I just insult Oprah? Oprah, I'm sorry.
Way to go, sorry. Sam. You blew it for us.
I know. Listen, I didn't want to tell you she's a devout follower of the Genius Bar.
Yeah.
And I just insulted. Who am I? It's like, dude, you've built a YouTube channel with like 10 followers, and you're like, I don't really think Oprah's on her A game. It's like, dude, you've never been on your C game. Okay, let's calm down. But no, what I was saying is I think Oprah is a very good interviewer. She's very good at this. So is Howard Stern. Like, say what you will about Howard Stern.
Oh, Howard Stern
dude
is fantastic.
A good ass interviewer. Like, say what you will. I don't agree with all things he said and stand behind and his takes. But I will say this, he's a great interviewer. Phenomenal. Mm-hmm. That's why he's so successful. He has been on Sirius for so long. And, I was just watching this interview with her and Michael Jackson, and just like the way she approached it, she was honestly asking these really hard questions, like about his skin or his romantic life or like the kids that would be like
his romantic life.
Yeah. But like I'm saying,
I know which one you're talking about. When he was married to Lisa Marie.
I think he was in his red conductor outfit.
Yep.
Oh, dude, it was so.
Oh, it was the interview at Neverland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so.
That's a great one.
I still need to watch the rest of it. I only watched like half of it. I was just mesmerized. I was working on an article. You ever do the thing where you're working, you're listening to a podcast or something, and then you just slowly go.
You start typing the words you're hearing.
Yeah, and then you just, I'm not working for the next hour, and then productivity shot. But, Apple has approached two different types of people to do their media coverage. And it makes sense. They do the really fun people. They do the iJustines. It's like not a whole lot of critical, like, Renee Ritchie and iJustine review products in completely different ways, right? Like Renee Ritchie is like lots of inside talk about the tech, about the cameras, about what this means, super in-depth B-roll. iJustine is like, let me show you how this is my life. Let me show you how this impacts, it's more of a lifestyle view of the new iPhone every year. These are the colors. They're so fun. Look at this. This is great. It's entertainment. Renee Ritchie's like, these are the specs. This is what they mean. I'm going to do a great ass job showing you all this. And and it's phenomenal. And I've noticed they sort of stay on that spectrum, right? Like even Marquez is sort of in the middle, right? Where he'll do some fun stuff, but he'll also stay to the tech. He'll also really talk about the specs. And I always think like if Marquez had like 200,000 subscribers right now, like would Apple still want to work with him as much? And part of me is like, he's going to cover it. I don't know. It's interesting because like Marquez will cover the iPhone, whether Apple sends it to him or not, but they still do.
He would have also covered it the same way if he had 200,000 subscribers or 200 million, however much he has now.
Yeah. 200 million subs. But yeah, their coverage is very like that. And I bring that up to say like, there's a lot of people that I just don't think they want. It's PR. They want control. They don't want any people that are willing to take that creative risk to ask those tough questions. Because there's a lot of other questions I would ask, like, why is my Mac more open than my iPhone? Yes, the iPhone has a bigger install base, going back to the Epic versus Apple trial. But as a user, you guys talk a lot about choice, and I noticed that's been a word that's coming up. Why can't I consent to more choice on my iPhone? I want to hear,
here we go again.
We've had this discussion. We've had this discussion, and Apple is settling this in court right now. So we will see what the courts of the United States have to say about this topic.
They're going to say, they're going to give their final judgment, their ruling, and then go, and also John Prosser was right. What he said on that one show, he's right. That's what they're going to say.
And, they might. And they also might say, I've watched Genius Bar, and Sam Kohl is my favorite.
Nobody says that.
They might say that.
Nobody says that. Nobody says Sam Kohl's their favorite. Dude.
Bruh, read the comments. Read the comments. Let me know in the comments down below.
Okay, who's your favorite? One for Jern and 2 for CERN.
Oh, no. You have 400,000 followers on Twitter. You have 10 times the amount of followers on Twitter.
I'm just asking the people that have made it listen, if they have listened this far into the podcast, they obviously love us both. They made it this far.
I would hope that they
So
enjoyed
we just
the
need
show.
1 or 2. Who's your favorite? I won't take it personally.
I'm 2. No, I should be 1 because I brought it up first. John's 2 because you poop.
That now you confused them because now that I said that, people are going to start typing what I said as soon as I said it, and now
Toilet Squad number 2 for pooping. They're going to remember this now though. Number 1, yeah. I only pee. I've never pooped in my life.
Okay.
Number
pee
1.
for Sam and poop for Jern.
Do you like poop or pee better? I like pee better.
What kind of question is that?
I enjoy peeing way more.
I like
than
poop. I like that you get some time to just browse. And you get some time to yourself, but also that's nice. The human body is amazing. It's just like this is nasty stuff that I don't want in me anymore, and then it gets rid of it, and you feel so much better. You're like, my body did that all by itself.
It go by.
It did it all by itself. Before we go, I want to mention this.
Yeah.
Do you see the iMac story today? The crooked iMacs.
I saw it first on frontpagetech.com, John. That's
genuinely makes me laugh. Like, try to, okay. iPhone do? How the fuck do you say that, that name? Okay.
He's got the greatest.
Amazing YouTube channel, by the way.
Yeah. Holy God, it's so good.
He published his iMac reviews today, except his iMac is crooked. Like, it's actually crooked on the mount.
That's kind of funny.
You know what?
It's
fine. I'm going to try not to laugh. It's fine if it's just one, right?
Yeah.
If one iMac is a little fucky, just a little teensy bit. Just iPhone though. His iMac is weird. But there were also complaints on Reddit and in Apple's community. In
You
Apple's
did some good
community
research.
forums.
You were the first site that I saw you break the story on.
No, I couldn't have been the first. I couldn't have been the first.
iPhone is technically the first.
Yeah.
To draw attention to the thing.
But there's people complaining about their iMac being crooked. It is like an actual defect where like the machine itself is connected to the mount wonky. And I put in the article, I was like, listen, if your iMac is fucked up, I'm sorry about that. Get a replacement. But also, you can't be too mad because if your iMac is crooked, go ahead, stand up, take a step back, and take a look at it and try not to laugh at it. Just like seeing pictures of crooked iMacs is hilarious. It's the best thing. It's the best thing ever. Just your iMac being all like this.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be honest, though. I feel like nobody would have really noticed this. Like, dude, I had to stare at that image that you posted for 5 minutes before I noticed it was crooked.
Wonky.
What? I didn't think it was
crooked?
that
Is that the
severe.
problem? You walking around looking like this the whole time? Doesn't look crooked to you?
I do this when I sit on the couch sometimes.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think it's an issue. What am I saying?
If you had a crooked iMac, you'd
I'm
be
just
like,
kidding.
yeah,
What am
it's
I saying? Everybody in the comments
I don't
was
think
like,
it's an issue.
what did he say?
Just your fucking. If you bought your iMac, you spent $2,500 on it.
If you spent
crooked.
any money, if you spent any money on it, just replace. This is like when Apple said, remember those bent iPad Pros 2 years ago?
That was not the
model?
same. That's because who was it? Jerry Riggs. Everything.
No.
Zach.
This was customers that were getting bent iPads out of the box. And Apple said a slight bend during shipment is an expected behavior. And I said, no, that's
maybe
not
that's
an
what
expected
happened.
behavior.
Maybe the iMac got bent in shipment.
I got confused in my head. You ever just get you ever get confused in your head and you just say something random?
You can tell we're at the end of the show now.
Wow. Yeah, our ADD just kind of starts spiraling.
Go this way.
You got a little like triangle up there.
Oh yeah, can you see? Hang on. Wait.
Yo, I just realized something. You should bring your dogs on a show sometime.
Charlie and Roxy? Why? Oh, dude, I have a funny picture. How do I?
You could just put it in
messed
post.
something up.
Is it bent now?
Yeah, it's crooked, dude.
No, get it. Contact
Yesterday,
Apple support if that's happening for real. Like, get it looked at because it should be.
Yesterday, I went to take a picture. I was sitting down, sitting on the couch, and one of my chihuahuas, Roxy, was just chilling on my lap. She's old. She's like 12, and she had surgery like I want to say like 7 months ago, and got basically all her teeth removed. And so she can't hold her tongue in, so it's always always taken out. And I went to take a picture. She was sitting on my lap, and I was like, it'd be so funny if I could make it look like she took a selfie. So I put my phone in front of her face like she was going to take a selfie.
Okay.
But then Karina, she was outside. Karina was outside. She comes inside as I'm taking the selfie. So Roxy, the dog, hears the door open right as I'm taking the selfie. So she has this like alert face on in the picture.
Can we put her in the thumbnail for you? Wait, we need to do Roxy interview with Craig Federighi. Wait, that's what Apple sees when you ask the tough questions. Oh my God. That's Yanni, you need to send me that. I'm turning that into a meme format.
Oh my God.
I think that's thumbnail worthy. I really think she should go and I'm going to put her next to you in the thumbnail. Send me that fucking photo. She's going to be like, just at least in the corner. Like, we're going to do something. That dog is going in the thumbnail. As the thumbnail arbiter, that is going in the thumbnail. That's incredible.
Okay. I feel like we laughed a lot on this episode. It's time to go. I almost passed out.
Now I'm just like, imagine if we could get Craig Federighi on the show.
What could we do to make it happen?
I don't know. I just want it'd just be so fun. Like,
Can we
It'd be
like
just
peer
fun.
pressure him? Can we convince everyone in the audience to email him to just spam his email?
Dude. Well, I think that would just make him more mad.
Yeah. Craig,
Maybe
I
one
don't
of
think
us.
Craig could ever be mad at anybody ever.
Yeah, he does seem like I've always had a lot of respect for Craig.
He's
He
just
seems
like,
like
it's
he-
cool, man.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
All right, one of you guys. So talks
Uh-oh.
amongst yourselves. This is directly to the audience. One
Okay.
of you email Craig and do not mess this up. I swear. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. If one of you screw around and ruin our name and say bad, naughty words, I'm banned. I'm sending the team to your house. Knock, knock, knock. Bam. Who was this guy? Oh, he never existed. Don't ruin my relationship with Apple, okay? Maybe one of you could just be like, hey, I really like this Apple podcast. They were mentioning that they would love to have an Apple exec on, and they mentioned you, Craig. Yeah, I'm writing the email for you, okay?
Make it sound
Don't
very
put the bright-
organic, like we didn't send you.
Hey, is a super big Air Force One. Oh, God. No, don't say Air Force One. That's just cringe. Just be like, hey, Greg, I like this Apple podcast. Think it'd be awesome if you went on there. You know, here's their contact information.
Right.
Oh, yeah. No, that'd be fun. I'll email Apple PR and just see if I get it. I'll be like, hey, we would just love to have an
I
Apple
will give
exec. Like,
you my
could throw
phone
us an
number.
intern.
Tell Craig my phone number. It is 330-824-0076.
Is that real?
No, that is a past phone number of mine, yes. So I'm sorry to whoever has that phone number now. They're fucked.
I have like 2 different phone numbers for you. But do you have 2 SIM cards now? Or do you only
No,
pay for
you have a
one?
3301?
Yeah.
Delete that. You have my newest one, like since I moved.
Okay. Cool.
330 is Ohio.
That's what I figured.
All right.
Those pictures. Look at
Roxy, oh, she's so cute.
It's so cute. Oh, my video dies.
There it is.
My
Fuck,
video
we almost made it the whole
dies.
show.
Roxy,
No.
Roxy, no. It's time
Almost
to end
made
the
it whole
show.
show.
My
It's
internet.
ruined.
My internet is losing its mind. Hey, it made it the full hour and a half. That's pretty
Wow,
cool.
let's get a
Thanks
full
for-
look at that. Look at it in all its glory.
Oh my God. So this iMac Pro. I think I'm gonna sell my iMac Pro.
Really?
It just sits here. I don't use it for anything.
Tell
but
us all about it in your
podcasting.
4 pixels.
Shut the hell up. You're so mean. I'm gonna go cry in 144p, crying in 144p.
Dude, we don't have to do any of the ads with you looking like that.
Oh God, yeah. The sponsors would be like, please. I thought we paid for like C tier, not X tier. Jesus.
X tier sounds like I'd pay for X tier us, whatever that is. That sounds like porn. That sounds like we
OnlyFans?
read the ads naked.
You want to? Oh, I haven't posted on my OnlyFans. I always forget. OnlyFans.com/iupdates, exclusive content. Subscribe.
At least you did it. Luke Miani
I
still
saw
hasn't done his.
Paytas. Dude, we were talking about it today. I was like, he's like, how long did
Lucas-
you wait? I was like,
Lucas
dude, you
Mianis.
gotta collab with the other tech twink.
Dude,
And the
Lucas
show.
Mianis
We're off
is
the
one-
rails.
Hang on, Lucas
We're off the
Mianis.
rails.
I'm gonna tweet him because that's his new name. I like that. Lucas. How do I?
Mianis.
I need to
Hey,
tweet.
it's
Luke,
okay. I mean, my pixels have never been lower. Let me just go on a little adventure. Whee.
Your new name
shit, my
is
headphones.
Lucas
Look at me.
Mianis.
That's like clubbing in 144p. The hose can't get on me now. The hose can't hate.
Okay.
All right. Well, my video's not.
The hoes
gonna
are laughing.
improve. I will be honest. It's something with my iMac. I've had graphics issues with this iMac. I'm gonna disconnect and then reconnect to see the fix.
Oh, right at the end of the show, you're gonna disconnect. Is he gone? Oh, he's there.
You let me back. Oh, watch. This is gonna fix it. You watch this.
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, we're getting crisp. Oh yeah.
It's happening.
No.
Inhale. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Come on, Pixels. Come on, we gotta want it, Sam.
No.
You gotta want it. Another deep breath in.
Oh, I
This
want
is
it to be
doing
better. It's getting
deep
better.
Breath in, deep breath in.
Wait, it's better.
Deep breath in. And another one out. Yes! Yes!
Yes, we're back.
We're back, baby.
Let's go.
And that is why
it did actually kind of
we're
work.
the number one podcast right there.
That's why, guys, rate us on iTunes. We've been a little lower on the iTunes charts lately. Come on, let's get our
But
number.
higher in the video charts.
Higher on the high. We've been guys. Thank you for the support on our last episode. I think this is my favorite episode ever, though.
Really
I feel like it was really fun. It was a good chat.
I feel bad for anyone that doesn't listen all the way through, that misses the end of the show and missed that.
It's always the best. It's kind of like, I dare I say, iconic. I think it's
like when we're done with that last ad read, you never know. You never know what's about to happen.
Genius Bar off the rails. Thanks you guys for listening.
Whatever.
John, it was great talking to you as always, brother. Keep fending off the haters. Keep leaking. I love you, John.
I love you too, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
All right, guys.
All right.
See you next week.
We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. You guys are the best. Bye.
Bye. Okay, here's my ceiling. Bye.
Bye.